Gang, gang. What up, Kenny? How are you, brother? Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, sir. What would you like to know? Hey, year. What up? What up, July? It's a squatty large, bruh. Johnny Carson in the building. Hello, hello. What up? How's everybody? Yeah, it's kind of like everything just kind of kicked in a gear all of a sudden. No, I don't do sugars, bro. Usually my coffee is a little bit of cream. That's it. I kind of weaned myself off of sugar and sweeteners a long time ago. Hey, what up, Mark? How are you? I like that Spencer for Hire graphic. JRD says squatty large sounds wrong, but it's oh so right. We all know a squatty large out there. Hey, Chris. Chris always comes with some alternate history here. Would you ever do a show and have a coffee ice cream? Nah, that's too sweet. I know you enjoy ice cream. I really try to watch my sugar, and I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I don't have sweet stuff. But I don't think I'd want to eat a plate of ice cream on camera. How's everybody tonight? It seems. Fuck. Oh, sorry. I'm closing some stuff here. It feels like a little laggy. So hopefully I can. JRD says I'm tired. I know he was responding to somebody else in the chat, but I think everybody's pretty tired. That might be the theme tonight. Like everybody's kind of beat up. I'm pretty tired too. I had one of those days where it's just low. It's a low energy day. You know what I mean? Yo, what up, Mel? How are you? It's good to see you. I hope you're thriving. It's great to see your face. Thanks for joining in. Hey, Bill. Bill says, you ever try Turkish or Brazilian coffee? Yes and yes. I couldn't tell you a blend name or something like that, but I've had it. I also like, I've had Greek coffee. The Greek coffee is dope because it's got like the silt at the bottom of it. And I think I've had Portuguese coffee and had coffee in France, but I don't know if that was something special. Kenny says, I'm not tired, just in this weird place mentally. Yeah, it is. I feel you on that. I think it's crazy how quickly the weeks are going by. Not even talk about the holiday. Let's not talk about that. But just the fact that I can factor the passing of time by when I have to take the trash out for a collection every week. And I feel like every week I just did it like 2 days ago. Johnny Carson. Jared D says, spent today yesterday fighting with old tech, replacing Wi-Fi and kidlets' phones. Oh, wow. So you had to kind of do that like on the ground, like replacing SIM cards and stuff. That's not fun. Kenny says, you need to get into that doo-doo coffee. No, thank you. That's a big nope. I got to nope out on that one. Bill says, the girlfriend makes Brazilian coffee. Basically think of Turkish coffee, but filtered so there's no silt. It's basically jet fuel. Jerry Kraft, what up, Jerry Kraft? Award-winning Jerry Kraft says that's the only way I know what day of the week it is when I take out the garbage. Has anybody missed garbage day because they just totally didn't remember what day it was? You kind of catch a reminder when you look out the window and everybody else's trash cans are out, but I'm not going to say it hasn't happened. Matt says, "Yeah, recycling pickup is every other week." Oh, wow. Yeah, in a lot of communities, recycling doesn't happen every week. By the time we feel safe bringing the bins back in, it's time to put them back out. Oh, are you those people on the block that leaves your trash can out all week? People are like banging into it, and it's like blowing down the street. JRD telephones. The killer's phone was expanding. The battery was about to blow. I hear that they swell. Right? Is that what happens when they get too old? I remember I had a. I think I was lucky enough not to get those Samsungs phones that were like catching fire in people's pockets. I think I wound up getting one like right after those versions because everybody knows I'm a BlackBerry guy. But one thing about a lot of those phones is they get hot. You can just feel them getting hot in your hand. That's not a good look. You guys talk amongst yourselves. What up, Benaya? Thanks for joining us. Benaya says, by the time I see the trash cans are all empty and I miss it. Oh, that's the worst. Because you got to do the night deposit. You got to put those out at night. And in some places, they'll like if you live in a certain type of community, they'll fine you if you put your trash cans out too early, and they probably fine you for leaving them out too long. He said it's up there now. Oh man. Mark says, I remember his trash day when the garbage truck goes by. Oh man, that's double trash is not a good look in your house. Yeah, I you know what I think I get confused when there's a holiday because then the recycling and the trash schedule's off by a day. But sometimes there's kind of like, is this like I'm trying to think of a holiday that kind of messes people up, like President's Day or something like that. Is that do we put the trash? Oh, that's next. It's tough. um, uh, Kenny Wong says, "Well, I know what day of the week it is by the Wednesday and Thursday podcast. P2P, pencil to pencil, baby, and coffee with your schedule. Salute to the general, Kenny Wong in the building. Stunt Kim reporting for duty. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that." Benaya says, "Garbage trucks driving away is like missing the ice cream man for adults." Yeah, it's a long week after you miss the trash. Bill says, "Man, just talking about it, I went out and tossed mine in the complex dumpsters." Yeah, when I lived in a couple of apartment complexes where you just threw the stuff in the dumpster. But does anybody live in a place where there's an incinerator? Like you go down to the edge of the hallway and you just throw the stuff down a chute? Hey, Natalie, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Seeing a lot of faces in here I haven't seen in a while. Hello. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mr. Simmons? Great to see you. Look at all these fine folks up in here. Matt says trash pickup is on Thursday, the day after New Comic Day. So I'd always put it out when I got home from the shop. Now that I'm not going, it's tough to remember. Sometimes it's the little things, right? And I also know what? Wait, what? Are you talking about the incinerator? The incinerator? All of a sudden, I have to blow my nose all of a sudden. It's funny that we're talking about trash day. Hey, Chris, what's going on? For a few, which I guess All right, yeah, check us out in the next time, Chris, or watch it on your phone. Or maybe not watch it on the phone, watch it in your studio. Bill says, you never know what's going to happen on Coffee Break with JN. We're spending 15 minutes talking about the trash pickup. Bill says, I used to be in a place that had an incinerator. Oh, God, the smell. Yeah. And I just kind of wonder, like, what are people really putting in there? That's scary. Matt says, I have a funny ice cream truck story, but it's too long to type out. Remind me when I see you. I'll hold you to that, sir. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Break with JN. I'm JN. I'm not going to do the ID yet, but I want to just say hi to everybody who's checking in. It's a lively group in here tonight. We had a really good pencil to pencil episode yesterday with my bud Mike Manley. We did a comic art boot camp where we talked about character design, which was pretty cool. And I don't know, like the time just flew by. I felt like we had talked about maybe kind of keeping it short, but then we wound up going over, and I was just like, I felt like we just got started. But I think there's something about like that slow motion kind of like speed force warp thing that happens when you're drawing, especially when you're doing lives or trying to do stuff on camera, is things just take a lot longer than you things go a lot faster than you think. Yo, what up, Paul Pate? Paul Pate in the building, king of electric football. How are you, sir? What up, Bross? Bross says the trash chute at our old place has been backed up since the start of the lockdown. It just went to the first floor compactor. So I guess you gotta like walk your trash down. Clean. What up, clean? Queen Clean says shoes, cat litter, diapers, things that probably shouldn't go into an incinerator, but that probably actually do go in there. Shoes and diaper, definitely cat litter. Definitely cat litter is going in incinerator. Are there incinerator rules? Like, is there something on the back of the door that says don't throw these items in? Small children, house pets, and cat litter. I'd be interested to hear about that. Paul Pate says, yeah, boot camp was good. Thank you, sir. It's funny that when we do these drawing episodes, the chat room, which is usually very lively, goes down to a crawl because everybody's just like watching and paying attention. And I'd love to see how that looks on your end. Like when we're doing those when we're not doing an interview show, but doing more of like a lesson, or Mike's drawing, or we're both drawing, or we're talking or showing pictures of like old dead guy art. How are you connecting with that? Are you just kind of like watching? I know a lot of people like to draw along with us. What do you do? What's your setup? And if you haven't ever watched the Pencil to Pencil, I urge you to go check that out. Bill says last week's Pencil to Pencil with Katie Cook was great. She's awesome. Yeah, Katie was a great interview. I'm glad that she agreed to come on. We had a lot of fun. And next Wednesday, we're going to have Scotty Young on, so it's going to be fun. Mr. Simmons, everybody give love to Alex Simmons, my mentor in this game, and just such a prolific writer and figurehead in the comics industry. It's always great to see Alex. Alex says no glass or chemicals was on the sign in the projects. Oh, for the incinerator, yeah. Yeah, because glass could explode, right? That's a mess. That's a mess. Benai says drawing sessions are some of my favorites. Oh, thank you. You know, we keep hearing that a lot of people like the boot camps. But it's funny because when we do the boot camps, nobody's talking. So it makes you think that nobody likes the boot camps. If you heard Manley say a couple of times, it's like, oh, everybody's bored. Oh, everybody went to sleep. So I mean, I guess you don't have to type, hey, we're watching. Hey, this is interesting. But it's a little weird when you're used to just like the action in the room, and then it kind of gets real quiet, goes quiet. And I saw Chris Mariano send something I want to answer, but I'm trying to keep up with this scroll here. Matt says, I was watching last night, but we've been working so much I was exhausted. So I didn't have any questions. Looking forward to Scotty. Yeah, me too. Hey, Mike, how are you? Michael Cooper says, I missed yesterday's Pencil to Pencil. Going to watch later. I'm really looking forward to the character design segment. And yes, I often draw along. Oh, that's cool. Queen Maia is in the building. What up, sis? How are you? Good to see you. Mom, put your info in the chat so everybody can follow you or check out some of your enterprises. It's so close to the holidays. I'm sure people need some last minute gift ideas. So why don't we just support the fam? Check out some really dope product made by our local artisans. That's what's up. You don't ever have to say that, Alex. I appreciate you. So Benaya says, and Mark says, everybody's drawing. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, there you go. Get on that. Got the Bitly. Oh yeah, I'm a little backed up. I'll get to it. You know me. Anytime I'm in the mix, it's going to take me like an extra 5 months to get it done, but I'm good for it. All right, so hold on. I got to go back up here. Chris asked, here's a great question. What was something great you got out of the trash? Yo, I don't know where this is going. Are you talking about the act of dumpster diving? Or does people putting things on the curb, does that count? Or like maybe driving down the street and somebody puts out a sofa? Like, I need some context. Like, what exactly are we talking about? Or just straight Oscar the Grouch, like in a trash can with like fish heads? Like, yeah, you guys tell me. And maybe if anybody else in the chat wants to answer Chris's question while I get some more context, that'd be funny. And it will be great. Yeah, what up, Jamal? How are you? Michael says, I will endeavor to be more chatty during the Pencil to Pencil broadcast, but a lot of times I like others are just soaking it in. But I'll try to chime in so it's not a dead zone. I appreciate that. Kenny says, yeah, I do draw at the same time too. Only on occasion I'll look up when I have something to see I need to pick up. Huh. Okay. So now we're talking about trash picking. Colleen says, got an awesome futon frame dumpster diving. Benaya says, pallets at a wall clock in the shape of a watch. Alex says, furniture that hobbyists refurbish. Yeah, you know, there's some, that's almost like a full-time job. People who, what do you call that? What's the art term for it when you make art out of trash? It's like refound or something like that. You know, I relocated this couch and then I reupholstered it. Matt says, I'm a germaphobe. Even at my poorest, which is pretty poor, I couldn't do it. I can see that. Repurpose. Thank you, Michael. That's exactly what I meant. Upcycle. Yes. All those hipster terms for trash picking. But nice is hustle. Yeah, that's what's up. Or refurbish. Yeah, but you know what? It's like, yeah, there you go, Matt. Upcycle. Colleen beat you to it. So yeah, maybe the stronger thing here is about what exactly is the line on throwing things away, right? Like if you're the type of person that donates clothes, or if you live in the city and there's a yellow box and at the end of your block or in the Rite Aid parking lot, do you ever put stuff in there? As I remember reading this kind of horror story about some of those donation boxes where they're not really donation boxes. If you put it in a yellow box, it's going to go to, like, I don't know, giving guns to kids in Somalia, and then if you put it in the other box, then it goes to the Salvation Army. Do you not think about it? Do you just wear things till it's in tatters and then you throw it away? Do you have a seasonal donation thing that you do, like where you wear things, or maybe you have like blankets or something that you just give away? I'd love to hear how people deal with the trash. Also, I know people who think spending money on furniture is foolish when you can just find things on the side of the road and fix it up. But also, if you're not in your 20s anymore, making furniture out of milk crates isn't really a good look. So I wonder how you guys deal with that. Kenny says, not exactly picking up trash, but the doorman in the building I used to live at told me one night one of the residents came to him saying he heard a rat crying in the trash next to the building. What's a rat tears? What's a rat crying sound like? As this sounds. Oh, there's more. I'm sorry. So he asked the doorman for help. Doorman was like, "Help with what?" Resident said to help the poor rat escape. Resident asked for a stick or broom. So they looked around and didn't have any. So resident decided to go use his hand to push out the trash casing. Now I'm on pins and needles. I gotta hear how this ends. So Benaiah says, with the kids, I have to get the next size up. So so I guess when you have children, it's easier to like keep flipping stuff, or do you hold on to clothes and give it to the youngest kid? Or if you have other family members or friends who have kids, do you do like kid clothes trades? In one neighborhood, I remember driving by, and there was like a kids. Man, my brain is shot. Consignment shop, where I guess because just the nature of children, it's like they get old fast, so you can like flip clothes. And I think there's probably a lot of Facebook market groups and community groups who just kind of like move clothes around. Matt says we take stuff to the local Salvation Army location, an actual building. Mark says it was Paul Lynde from Charlotte's Web. Yeah, right. It's funny to think about Ratatouille in real life. Like nobody's eating food out the rat kitchen. Colleen says that if it's damaged, stained, or personally sentimental, or if it's like draws, I don't donate. If it's still decent looking and just the wrong size or out of style, I donate. For furniture, if it's still functional and we use it, keep. If it's not functional, most of our furniture is already secondhand, so we trash. Okay. Benai says we usually either know someone who has younger kids or drop them off at Goodwill. There's okay, hold on. We're gonna finish this story. Kenny says, so the doorman told him that was not a good look. Residents said it was fine. So he reached in and tried to push the rat out of the trash, and he got bit. The rat bit him. Oh. Doorman was like, told you. He had to call 911. Resident's girlfriend came down and found out and chewed him out. That's a pun. Doorman was like, you didn't want to listen. Yo, that cat deserves it. That's called New York karma right there. He said, told you. I heard the rat crying and I need to help it escape. He got bit, son. That's New York justice. So now he's going to turn into a mutant like Splinter. Bra says, I used to leave a pallet inside the open top dumpster in the lot in Chester because raccoons would get stuck in there all the time and start crying. What's with the crying critter theme tonight? That's crazy. Yo, you guys are in rare form tonight. Also, Michael brings us back to reality. Well, there's pre-COVID trash practices and post. I hold on to things and reuse things longer now and recycle more than before, living the minimalist life. Rat bites are no joke. They can bite through adamantium. All right, guys. I think it's time for ID. We haven't even done one yet. Isn't that crazy? Um, you're watching Coffee Break with JN. I'm JN. Jamar Nicholas is on my birth certificate. Some people call me the Grand Poobah of indie comics. Some call me the internet safe space. Some call me Maurice. That's for JRD. I'll throw a couple more in there. Johnny Carson, which is still that's so funny. Oh, Black Dick Cavett, Kevin Bacon of comics. I got a lot of names, but don't call me late for dinner. What is this, pray tell? And why do I have all these very lovely people watching me run my mouth? Well, young bull, you're watching Coffee Break with JN, where I get to sip coffee out of my Astro Boy mug. Ah, it's back. 100,000 horsepower. And run my mouth. When I'm out of coffee, this is over. And hold on a second. I'll get back to that. But it's really good to see all you guys in here. And you know who you are. Suze. Where's Suze, Matt? This is her favorite part. Caffeines, friends and regulars, not decaf, of Coffee Break with JN. Those are the people. Those are my day ones. Those are my ride or dies. Those are my homies. Those are my, yo, walk me up the street. That's the fam, right? You know, you only got a couple people you can say, yo, walk me up the block with, and they'd be like, bet. Yo, let me run in the house real quick. You don't get a lot of those homies, right? And you cherish them. So thank you, who you guys that will walk me up to the bodega real fast. Gotta take care of something. Thank you. Hang out. Benaya says, drink the coffee slower. Jamarvelous. Hey, Jim, how are you? Jim Luhan, one of my favorite animators, just completed his Mind of Lars Lazarus project. You have the whole thing as one giant movie, right? What's the runtime on Lars Lazarus? And can you post a link so everybody can check it out? All right, yeah, I'll just rewind that real quick. Oh yeah, Colleen. Yeah, it's gross. There's so many mice in the office. It's gross. Suze is off tonight. Well, you're gonna have to take up the slack, my friend. El Jamal says, drink slower. Well, it's good that we're all having a fun time tonight. Yeah, I'm not a big trash picker, or I guess you would call it like a curb stealer or whatever. Just, I don't really have a reason, but it's kind of like I'm not really out looking for stuff like that. Like, yo, what am I going to do with this? But sometimes you get to come up, right? I like a good come up. But I don't kind of make it my job. But like all on Facebook, there's like community groups where what do they call it? I guess that's like the free cycle thing where they're like, yo, I just put out a leather couch on the corner of 1st and 15th free. And then people just do a scramble for it. But then I think you kind of get into the habit of just like getting stuff and you wind up turning into a junker, right? Unless you can use it all, right? But those are all, it's part of it. It almost turns into a lifestyle if you're not careful. I'm not putting that on the screen. Benai says, what was your favorite part of today besides talking to us? Oh, that's sweet. Nobody ever asked me questions on here like that. I think one of my favorite parts of the day lately is when I don't have any Zooms for a minute. Like I kind of have like a Zoom period. and then like between like 4 and like 7 or something, I can just like, as even though it seems like, and I'm not bragging or anything, but it seems like I'm very on all the time. Sometimes I just need to go and decompress, and I sit in my little chair over there, and I might read something or drink a coffee. Yeah, I drink coffee all day. But sometimes it's just like when I can turn it off for a second is some of my favorite parts. I've even found myself being around more quiet lately. Sometimes I'm in here, like I'm a big YouTube fiend, so I'm always trying to find a mix or something on YouTube to listen to. One of my favorite things, my boy Ben Harvey hooked me up. I think I put it on one of the Ashy streams, Silent Chill. It was kind of like a chill hop mix with a lot of imagery and some sounds from the video game series. But then it's just like I don't want to hear anything. I just turn all that stuff off. So yeah, I think the downtime is my favorite part. Benai says, yes, yes, yes. Zoom makes me miss my mom's house phone. I wonder how many of you guys still have landlines in your house. Sound off. I think I missed some stuff. Oh, Jim says about, I'm sorry, it didn't happen yet? About the Lars Lazarus premiere is this Saturday on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's 50 minutes. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Are you going to do a red carpet event? I need to put on a jacket, and I'd like to participate. Going back to the trash thing, because I think we're just going to ride this out for a bit. Jerry Kraft says, just took out my recycling. Thought I heard a rat crying. Would have normally helped. Now I'm not so sure. Yo, man, don't get bit by a rat. I don't think you can get that treated at urgent care, can you? Because that's like a straight up rabies shot. Or do they still? I remember when rabies shots were like the worst things in the world, where they, the scene in Empire Strikes Back where they're about to prep Han Solo for carbon freezing, and they lay him down on the joint with all the needles sticking out. I feel like that's a rabies shot. Because I remember my mother used to say, yeah, they give you like 18 shots in your stomach or something like that. Is that true? I have no idea if that's true. JRD says, I won't dive, but there's an occasional box on the corner full of books. Those I might take a pick through. There was somebody in the neighborhood a couple of months ago, I think it was at the beginning of fall, who just put like a huge like tote of books. And there were some decent books. It was all like fantasy stuff and some sci-fi stuff. But they didn't label it. It was just on the curb. And nobody picked it up. Also, people don't read, right? So I'm sure if they put like a bunch of stools out there or like a hobby horse, that would go. But the junk truck doesn't really want books. And then it rained, and I felt bad that all those books got wet. I didn't want them, but I felt bad that they got wet. Matt says, I love used bookstores, which is kind of the same thing. Try not to think about where people were reading them before they traded them in. Or how about this? What about estate sales? I know some people that really enjoy estate sales and get the little ping notifications about estate sales. But there's something really kind of like depressing about rooting through somebody's stuff. And they just died. Like they got to clear out the whole house. That's really depressing. But a lot of people feel like, ooh, I like a good estate sale. And I know I almost feel worse for the people that work at an estate sale and have to kind of group things and make things look interesting for a photo. That's kind of sad to me. Hold on. We're getting back to it. I asked about the rabies shots. Yo, what up, Big Cho? What's up, brother? Good to see you. Hang out with us. I appreciate that. I talked about too many things. I'm sorry. We're talking about landlines. We're talking about rabies shots. hold on. Colleen, who has some ties to the medical field, says it's a series of rabies shots. But not you get the Pulp Fiction syringe in the chest. Blow. Rabies or tetanus. I've had a tetanus shot. I luckily haven't had a rabies shot. Going back to the state sales, this is sad. Benaya says, one of my favorite quotes, every time an old person dies, it's like a library burning down. Wow, that's deep. Makes sense, too. Michael says, used bookstores are freaking magic. I just had a Drew Barrymore impression. They're freaking magical. They're pretty rare nowadays. There's a couple of really good bookstores. No, you're right. There's not a lot anymore. I enjoy a good old bookstore. But I used to be addicted to like those half-price books. They have them in Texas, and there's a half-price books in. Oh, I'm thinking of Book Off, but there's half-price books in the South, I think. And then there's Book Off and those type of things, which are kind of like a Japan thing. There's one in New York, in Midtown. But yeah, even a lot of you guys know that I like retro video games. An enthusiast, if you might say. I have a problem paying full price for a new game. Like, it's just like, if you just wait a year, it's going to be $9. So like, I can wait. So, and also, there's a really good mom and pop retro video game store up in the next town that I like to go to. And that's a whole other thing. That whole market is starting to get glutted because, that stuff is kind of rare now, and they're Nintendo games that, people pay thousands of dollars for. So it's not as magical as it used to be. Like, you used to find a good deal or go, oh, wow, this is cool. Like, just imagine you go, oh, right, I remember Nintendo 64. I used to play GoldenEye with my friends. We used to play slappers. Yeah, let's go to this used game store and get Nintendo 64 and GoldenEye. What you mean is $300. Like, there's a little bit of sticker shock with the retro stuff. But yeah, I agree with you, Michael. I was about to go on a rant. Oh, Second and Charles. My boy told me about that. Those are out in Delaware, right? It's kind of like I can't find. I guess it's kind of like a Book Off or like a used books, but they have a lot of tech and video games and other stuff, right? I need to get to one of those. Maybe we'll get them to sponsor the podcast. Joe says, love independent used bookstores, finding out of print books. Yes. Mark says there are quite a few used bookstores in the DMV area. Shout out to the DMV area. Hope they make it through this pandemic. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff closing. Oh, to bring this back around, El Jamal talking about landlines. Durham doesn't really have landlines anymore. What, the whole province doesn't have them anymore? My current place doesn't even have phone jacks. Wow. So I guess if they're making new developments, they're not even including landlines. I'm sure it's got like fiber internet connections, but there's no landlines anymore. I remember you have maybe some aunts or something who's like, I'm not getting rid of my landline because what happens if the electric goes out? Whatever. So like reason that you need a landline for emergencies. Or I've had this number so long, I don't want to let it go. So I'm going to keep this landline and pay on this bill every month. Oh, Second and Charles is affiliated with Books A Million. We don't have those here either, but I want to go. Benaya says, I'm going to lose people now. I'm going to start talking about video games. I always had the game system that had just become not cool. My hand-eye coordination is amazing because of an old Atari. Yeah, there was always like one kid in the neighborhood that got the system that nobody else had. Like everybody else was like, yo, we got Nintendo. It's like, yo, I got a Sega Master System. But they're like, nah, come on, man, get out of here. Nobody wanted to come visit when you had the Sega. Oh yeah, that losing the phone number, that's real. That's real rap. Kenny, you still got the landline, bruh? That's what's up. You know what else is up? My Patreon. That's right. If you're having so much fun tonight and you don't want this to end, you're like JN. I hanging out with you is like the sweetest love. I don't want this to stop. Well, for the price of a dirty chai latte a month, you can become one of my patrons. That's right, dear patronuses. You get treated to at certain tier levels. Amazing sights and sounds. I do lots of video projects. We have JRD. I don't know if he's around, but he could tell you. It ain't hard to tell. The twice a month Q&A podcast I do with Marvel, rising star and super icon artist Mike Hawthorne, one of my best buds. Morning Constitutional, where I sit at the kitchen table and drink coffee and sleepily talk about stuff. JN's Car Johns, where if I actually happen to be in the car, I might turn on the camera. Thank you for having me. My Patreon exclusive Q&A series with other creatives. Come on, man. Like hours and hours of content. You need to get on this bus, bro. You're missing out. And while I'm at it, good looking out to some of my GLOs for the $2 level. I'll make you famous, put you on the screen. I got to change this because there's been some changes. I guess just got some new patrons. I'll have to update this. But thank you guys so much. What I think is really special about our Patreon is that I feel like it's a family. I try to just connect with everybody, and we just, it's real. It's love right there. I've actually canceled some Patreon things because I just felt like a number, and like the sea of some person's Patreon, like they didn't connect. You would even send them messages, they would never answer them. And it's just kind of like, I like your stuff. We try to do little comments in the thing, they don't answer. It's like, the back and forth wasn't there. But exactly. Get it. Oh man, I missed a bunch of you guys because I was doing my bit. Old man Forbestein. It's got the landline. That's what's up. That's right, Jerry Kraft. Tell him. Yo, yeah, I was about to say Turbo Graphics, but I wanted Turbo Graphics. They just brought out the minis. It's funny, all the mini systems. If any of you guys are like, oh, I have somebody in my life who's like a gamer, but they're not like a casual, everything on their shelf is just Maddens and 2Ks. We call those casuals. They're not really about that life. But if you're not in that PS5 hunt, I like those mini systems. So if somebody's got like gray hair and they're not really trying to put down $7,000 for a PS5, I like the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. The Genesis Mini is really great. The NES and the Super NES Minis were great. And there's a bunch of knockoff ones you see all over the internet. Like the controller has 4. There's like an A, B, C, D buttons on the NES pad. That's not right. Don't buy garbage. Just go get the real stuff. Right? Kenny Wong says, you going to review food while you're in a car? Oh, this Ricky Dink, Skeeky Dink dude. Oh, my damn. No, man. I thought those were funny. But I don't know. It just felt like fat man moves, and that's not a knock. That's not being fat shaming. But it's just like, I'm gonna sit in the car and eat the sandwich, and they were hilarious. But that's not my lane. I'm trying to watch my sodium. You know what I mean? I'll leave that to somebody else. Mark says, my girlfriend and my aunt have landlines. That's so funny. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, right? But it's also weird that You would think in the future everybody would have phones in their pockets. Like if you told somebody that in like 1976, they'd be like, "What?" And I went that far back because portable phones were a thing in the 80s. So it's not that unrealistic to think people would have phones. Like car phones were a thing back then. But nice, it's just got a Sega with so many games on Etsy, which I did not expect to find. Oh, that's what's up. We have to talk about that. Joe says, I can wait on the PS5. Patience, so much. Yeah, I'm not pressed, and I'm always a generation or two behind on game systems. Like I don't. Again, it's like there's something about being the fresh kid on the block with the newest thing, but it's just like I can't in good conscience drop 60 on a brand new video game. That's just where I'm at. But not Tyler. Yeah, where's Tyler at? Oh, you guys see people in the chat that I don't see. Yo, Zombies At My Neighbors, that's my jam. You know that's a super expensive game now. Like trying to find that like the Genesis one in box. I think Bros would know. That's probably like $90 now. That's right. Some games is worth it. I guess, fam. We're all over the place. Oh, Joe says Lancaster coffee, whoopie pie flavored grounds for coffee break. Ooh, ooh. As the kids say, that hit different. If you guys have never had a whoopie pie, you're missing out. There's some great Amish bakeries that pop up in Reading Terminal in Philly and Center City. If you've ever been to Philly, you've probably been to Reading Terminal Market. And the Amish show up on a couple of days of the week, and they just have a line wrapping through the plates to get those desserts. Yo, this stuff is worth it. It's almost worth losing a toe for. They're that good. She got 2 copies of Zombies. Yo, let's talk. NBD. Oh, Tyler's here? Tell him to say something. I don't see him. Or maybe he's in that loop that a couple of people are. I just don't see the comments. Like my buddy Stu was like, yo, how come you didn't answer me? I was like, it didn't come up on my screen. Joe, you gotta spill the beans. See what I did there? Spill the beans on that Lancaster coffee joint. Let's do another ID. This feels like this time's just flying by. You're watching Coffee Break with JN. I'm JN, Jamar Nicholas, your internet safe space. Sometimes you have a long week and you just need a break. Sometimes you need to let your hair down. Sometimes you just gotta, it's that time of night, you gotta take your bra off. You know what I'm saying? Take your socks off, whatever, and just like decompress. You remember the Calgon commercials, you guys, for you old heads? We talked about this before. Like the famous commercial where this is probably like, what is it, like the late 70s? The modern lady who was caught up in a lot of life's modern trappings. It's just like a totally messed up commercial now. Is a woman's cooking dinner, has a baby in her arm, the phone's ringing, the pot's boiling over, the dog's barking, the mailman's ringing a doorbell. And they do this kind of like super inset of all these things happening at the same time. And the lady's face is in the middle. And she's like, Calgon, take me away. And then the next scene is she's in the bathtub, having a soak. And she's just like, But then I kind of wondered, like, who's taking care of her baby? Like, where's the while you're in the bathtub? Where's the baby? Where's the baby, Lydia? Anyway, I'm sorry. You come here to get soothed. Sometimes I call it hair brushing. Tell me your problems. How's it going? Yeah, I know you probably had a bad day. It sucks, right? Sometimes they suck. I will be here for you. My name's Jamar Nicholas. What happens here is that I drink coffee and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, you go back to your life. I know it's sad, right? Benaya says, take your hot socks off and lay it on a cool bed. Mark says, I remember those Calgon commercials. Calgon, take me away. And also, sometimes in my head, I get that confused with the Nestea plunge commercials, where the lady's drinking the is it Nest's Lipton? Lipton, is it Nestea? I guess it's Nestea, not Nestle, because Nestle was the all right. And they do the backwards flat fall into the pool. Thanks, Bros. Always comes with that those prices. Price check, Bros check. Zombies ate my neighbors on Genesis. CIB is like 50. All right, I maybe I went a little too high. Kenny, you like a nice soak? One thing that's kind of, I guess, is a more modern invention are bath bombs. I don't know any of you guys that actually take baths or whatever, but the bath bomb is like this chemical cake that you put in the tub and it and turns into bubbles. Very interesting. Everybody remembers the Calgon. Take me away. Colleen says, baby sleep, or I don't know, maybe the dog's watching it. They call that abandonment now, right? You can't just leave. You just can't put a baby somewhere and take a bath, right? Where's the monitor at? You need a 2-parent household to do that. There's no baths around here. The Nestea plunge, yeah, that's what it was. And Nestle Quick, that's the rabbit who who probably has diabetes. Poor rabbit. Joe says the one bakery in Reading Terminal Market, quarter near Convention Center for actual whoopie pies, Boothwyn Farmers Market for Lancaster coffee flavored beans. They will grind them $10 a pound, but worth it. Yes, sir. Oh, the Pudmaster General. JRD says, I made Qui-Gon take me away jokes when the first Star Wars came out. And so many people to get the reference, it almost pissed me off. Yeah, that's a little too esoteric for people who are going to see Phantom Menace. Benai says, Epsom salts are my jam. A gallon for 99 cents. Bath salts. Look at this. You guys are some luxurious people. I love it. Kenny says, I prefer a good soak every now and then. That's what's up. I like leisure. We covered the bases today, didn't we? And I feel like this is what this is for, right? We all got to have a good talk, have a soak, drink some coffee. Tonight I'm drinking a little cappuccino, little sip of coffee for MC Light. And this stuff gets cold quick, so I've been covering it with a book, just to kind of keep the warmth in there. Again, heated in here about bath salts. But yeah, the time goes by really quick. I really appreciate the coffee breaks. I feel like it's a needed thing. I get told repeatedly that a lot of people look forward to these. I look forward to them as well. I miss everybody. I miss you guys. And I love that the funnel works, right? There's a little bit of pencil to pencil. I broadcast this on our YouTube channel. So somebody who may have just came in to see Katie Cook, it's like, oh, there's another thing. Oh, that's the dude that interviewed the person that I like. Let's see what this is about. And then, turns into like a family thing, right? I say this all the time that, I feel like everybody has value and, we get pigeonholed into being the thing that you think we are because that's what you saw us do. So it takes special people to think a little deeper about what else people are doing with their lives, right? Jim says, I got to do the Kel Burnett ear tug. Let me finish my sentimentality. So, when I can get on here and talk to you guys and have really interesting conversations, just talking at a screen to a lot of words that are scrolling up in front of me, I think that's special. And I think there's a connection. And it's needed, right? We all need humanity. And I'm glad that there's a part of my personality that enjoys doing this. It makes me think about it's been probably, I'd have to find the first coffee break, but it's got to be almost a year and a half that I've been doing these every week. And, it grows every week, which I think is crazy. If it doesn't grow, it's like the same number of people who change in and out. And you know who those people are, right? You know who you are, my caffeine. And being candid and being able to kind of just do this stuff is very exciting to me. And I'm glad that there's an audience for it. So thank you. The Patreon plugs are always part of it, but it's just an extension of me. If you like this stuff, there's more of that stuff over there. And it all kind of funnels back into the work, right? I'm probably super tired, just like a lot of you guys are tired. Everybody's burning a candle at both ends. I'm in the middle of my Scholastic deadline. And you probably haven't seen a lot of me around on social media. Like I do this and I'm out. But I'm hanging out with the Patreons. So if you want more of that, you know where to find me. Comic book diner reunion. Wait a minute, what happened? Need a comic diner reunion on pencil to pencil. That's not a bad idea. If you can scare up Rich Faber and scare up John Gallagher, we should do that. We talk about that once in a while, but it's hard to get all those guys in the same place. You know how hard, even trying to schedule a Zoom call is hard. But we're all friends and, you never know. So it's always good. It's comic book diner reunion. And for any of you guys that doesn't know what Joe's talking about, before Pencil to Pencil, 10 years ago, if that's not amazing enough, I did a podcast with my buddies John and Rich, where it was kind of like the precursor to Pencil, but we were doing a lot of comic book industry talk, and we had guests, and we had our own cadence with things, and we had sponsors and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. And then by the time we ended it, people were like, "Oh, do you know about podcasts? I think podcasts are cool." I'm like, "Fam, we just did a podcast for like 7 years." So I've been cursed for a long time of kind of doing things a little ahead of the curve. But Pencil to Pencil is great. Have a lot of other things on the plate. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk to Gallagher soon, especially with his success with his new Random House book, Max Meow, Cat Crusader. So I'm really excited about John, where John's going. And I would love to get Rich and John in the same room. That's really cool. Benaya says, I appreciate your personality allows people to feel connected. Thank you. Thank you. That's what's up. Wait a minute. Colleen says, I love you making jokes about luxuriating in the tub while you're drinking your bougie cappuccino. We all have our self-care jams. You know what? If I could fit my fat ass in the tub, maybe I would take a soak, but I don't think that's happening. But it sounds amazing to have a good. It's funny. I was going to be done with this, but it's funny. I think there's tub people, right? There are people who are like, ew, I'm not going to sit in my own filth. Then there was like, ooh, that sounds great, a nice bubble bath. So I think there's two sides of that, and I think you kind of have to fall on one of those two lanes. Um, Benaya says, I will be quoted. We all have our self care jams. That's right. My self care jam is hanging out with you guys doing coffee break with JN. What I was going to say is at the beginning of this stuff, probably like maybe the beginning of the pandemic. And I was like, kind of like, I turned up the dial on all of my podcast stuff. And all of a sudden, there were a lot of people like, yo, I see what you're doing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I could do that. Yo, I'm going to do that. I don't know where are those people? They're all gone. I'm just saying. All of those people, they're not here anymore. So I guess however you feel about all of this stuff is that we put in the work, right? You guys put in the work every Thursday at 9:00 EST to come hang out. I'll be here to do the work. So, we deserve nice things. Kenny Wong says, sip a nice bougie cup of coffee with a nice bubble bath for JN, complete with candles. Hey, there's nothing bougie about cappuccino, but it's bougie when I do that. Joe says, too many good podcasts, not enough time. I feel you. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Kenny never yeah, okay, hold on. Kenny says, sip a nice bougie cup of coffee while soaking in a tub of bubbles while playing your favorite retro game with candlelight. Oh, yeah. You got to be careful. You don't want to drop that in the tub. Clean says, with the hack, key to beat the bath filth conundrum, shower first, rinse the tub, then soak. You heard it here first. Not only do you get my smiling angelic countenance and matinee idol good looks, you get life lessons too. That's one to grow on. But Nahia's like, dang. Yo, that was the best life hack of the night. Joe was saying this is not a podcast, it's a video cast. Well, that's true. Yeah, well, this one is. Yeah, I would say the pencil to pencil and other stuff are more podcasts with the way we do it. All right, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up. You know what happens. Suze would say, you got to get the goodbyes started before I shut off the video. Down to the gristle here. Jared D says, next actual Baltimore Comic-Con, need live coffee break. Yo, tell them. I'll do that on stage. That'd be fun. We could do it. I guess the hall would be closed, right? Or we can do a room. I'll do coffee break with JN live at Baltimore Comic Con. That'll be funny. JRD, I'm sorry. Joe says, hour soak, salt soak, only way I float. Wow. I think there's going to be a lot of bath happening tonight. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Let's start saying goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodnight. Thanks for the chat. Thank you, Mark. It was great seeing you. Let's get those goodbyes in. Yeah, let's do it. We'll get some nice mood lighting, get some candles. Maybe I'll do it in a tub. Well, this is live, right? It's live right now, but I get what you're saying. Thanks, Bunny. It was good seeing you. Good night, everybody. Good night, John Boy. Night. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night. And also, I stopped doing watch parties because nobody was showing up because you can just see the thing. Just press play again and it's there. Good night, everybody. Good night. You've been watching. Oh, hold on. What was that? Thank you, Kenny Wan. Thank you, brother. I think I might go to bed early tonight. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN. I am JN, Jamar Nicholas, the Black Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson, Philadelphia's favorite son, again, in your internet safe space. You've been watching me run my mouth and drink coffee. Now that I'm out of coffee, this video's over. Have a good night, you guys. Wait a minute. Stay away from trash cans with crying trapped rats. You heard it here first. Have a good night, guys.